Hello and welcome to this 14-minute morning flow inspired by the ocean that is constantly in motion, and nevertheless it seems to give off this calm. And so we're starting off in child's pose. And take a moment to get settled here. Your knees can be a little bit wider, closer together. And as you start to feel a little bit more into the breath, you might feel this ebb and flow of the ocean reflected in your breath that is flooding your back body as you inhale. And as you exhale, you feel that your whole back body softens, grounds down. Maybe you feel your tailbone reaching a little bit further towards the heels. Good. And as you continue to breathe, your inhale takes you forward onto all fours. Exhale takes you back into child. So starting to wave with this motion. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. Exhale takes you back into child. So continuing at your own pace, in constant motion. Maybe you like to become a little bit bigger through your movements, allowing your hips to fall in between. Coming more into a little bit of a cobra. Exhale, still back into child, waving back and forth with the breath. Good. Next time you come onto all fours, you can stay on all fours and move into a more classic cat and cow. Inhale to open the heart, moving the shoulder blades together, and exhale, round your back. Again, moving at your own pace. This is a class in which we will stay in motion just like the ocean. And you don't have to make the movements really, really big. Okay. And then slowly coming into one-sided puppy. Inhale, center. Exhale, reaching one arm forward. Maybe you like to look towards the sides. So starting to open through the sides of the body. Inhale, back to all fours. Exhale, pushing one arm forward. A little bit of a twist. A little bit of a side opening. Still creating more space through the lungs to take in bigger breaths. If I'm moving too quickly for you, you can go a little bit slower. And then next time you can come into a regular symmetrical puppy pose. I'm keeping the head off of the ground just because I'm practicing on that, but feel free to place your forehead down on the floor. Good, and then slowly coming onto your belly. Preparing for some cobra poses. Here I'm lifting my hands off of the floor to wake up the back body a little bit more. Inhale to lift. And exhale back to move down. Going at the pace of your breath. Inhale lifts you up. Sense of expansion. Exhale going with gravity, lowering down. Good. Last one, staying in a cobra, taking it a little bit higher, staying low. And then eventually moving into your first downward facing dog. Take your time to arrive there, maybe walking up the feet. Good. And I'm moving through, inhale, plank, and exhale back into your downward facing dog. If this is too much for you, come back onto your hands and knees, still moving forward. Inhale, and exhale will take you back more into a shape like a child's pose. Next inhale, you can lift your right leg up and exhale back down. Good. So alternating three-legged. And again, you can keep your hips square or open them up a little bit more. We're just trying to continue to move with the breath. Inhale, expansion, lifting a leg. Exhale, contraction, lowering the leg back down. Good. Next time you have one leg lifted, you can stay there for a moment, opening through the front of the hip. And exhale, stepping the right foot forward in between the hands, coming into a high lunge. And we'll keep on moving here. Exhale, arms circling out and down. Inhale, lifts the arms up. Exhale down. So opening a little bit more through the pecs, through the front of the chest to allow even more space for the breath. Last one, inhale, expansion, opening, and exhale, moving the hands back down, grounding back into a downward facing dog. Same sequence through the other side, starting with the left leg. Inhale, three-legged. exhale back down. And if doing this in a downward facing dog is too much, again, come back onto your hands and knees. You can still lift one leg into a bird dog and exhale back onto all fours. Okay. Inhale, lifting the leg up. Keeping the hips open for a moment. Take another breath there. And then exhale, stepping the left foot forward. Inhale to rise, reaching the arms up. Exhale, softening down. Good, and moving your arms a few times at your own pace. I'm also being soft through the back leg to receive gravity. Inhale, opening. Exhale, softening this time. Hands going down, back into downward facing dog. And if you like, you can take a vinyasa in between. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lowering either chaturanga or knees, chest and chin like I'm doing. Inhale, open the heart. And exhale back into your downward facing dog and continuing right away. Three-legged, one side. I'm alternating a few times in between right and left side. Staying soft through all the limbs just to create a little bit of space, movement, airing out the joints. And then exhale, stepping the right foot in between. Low lunge this time, untucking the back toes. And this time, going through the side, inhale up through center. I'm grabbing my left wrist, exhale, bending over through the right side, back into the middle. So creating even more space through the left side of the body. Inhale, right. Exhale, rounding through the side. Good. And then tucking the toes under, stepping back into downward facing dog. Repeating the same sequence on the other side. Starting with the left leg a few times, and then eventually staying with your left leg up, bending the knee, opening the hip, stepping your left foot forward, grounding your right knee, low lunge on the other side, this time grabbing hold of the right wrist, and exhale through a side bend over the left side, rounding and coming back down. Inhale takes you up. Exhale through a gentle stretch through the side body, rounding back down. Good. And again, you can move a little bit slower, a little bit faster. Eventually grounding both hands, stepping back, downward facing dog. Again, another vinyasa if you like. Inhale takes you forward into a plank. Exhale lowers you down, knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga. Inhale opens your heart, little cobra or up dog. And exhale back into your downward facing dog. Good, one more inhale, lifting the right leg up. This time just staying here in a three-legged dog, airing out the front of the hip. And exhale, stepping the foot forward again, grounding through the back knee. And this time exhale, taking you back into half splits. If you have blocks and you would like to place them underneath your hand, you're welcome to do so. Inhale, moving through, opening through the hip flexors. Exhale, opening through the hamstrings. Inhale, hips forward. Exhale, hips back. So just mobilizing. We're not staying too long in one posture. We're not trying to go through the perfect asana. We're just moving here. Inhale takes the left leg up. Three-legged down dog, opening through the left hip. And then exhale, stepping your left foot all the way through in between, grounding your right knee. And then exhale right away into half splits, waving the spine back and forth. Inhale takes you forward. Exhale takes you back. You might stay much more high in your chest with your hands and blocks underneath your hands. Just moving your hips forward and back, and you don't have to stretch fully straight in the front leg. Just mobilizing the hips, eventually again moving back into downward facing dog. Optional vinyasa, you can always rest in down dog, even move into child's pose for a little breather. If you're going through a vinyasa, keep on moving with the breath. Eventually through a downward facing dog. One more flow. Inhale takes your right leg up. Three-legged down dog to prepare. And as you exhale, bringing your right Shin forward this time for a little bit of a pigeon pose. If you need to place something underneath the hip, go for it. And we're just going to wave the spine here. Inhale, lifting the chest back up. Exhale, bowing forward. Again, not aiming at the deepest, most potent hip opening. We're just mobilizing, getting some blood flow going, opening through the outer hips. Good. And on your next breath out, stepping back into a downward facing dog. Other side, lifting the left leg up, bending the knee, stacking the hips, preparing for pigeon pose. On the other side, on your next exhale, bringing your left shin through, maybe walking your right knee back, and then exhale, waves you down. Inhale, rounding up. Exhale, bowing. So again, using these shapes just to make the breath go a little bit deeper, allow the breath to travel into those nooks and crannies of the body that the breath won't easily flow into in the morning. Next, exhale back into downward facing dog. Last vinyasa to come all the way onto your belly. Let's take a little scorpion pose, bending the right knee, tipping the right toes behind you, opening through the shoulders, also opening through the spine a little bit, taking it dynamically here. Inhale, center. Exhale, left toes behind. Inhale, center. And right toes behind. Just going side to side, not going for the deepest stretch. Just for a sense of moving, getting the spiral line, the fascial line open a little bit. Preparing for our last back bends. Staying in a cobra a little bit longer. Flowing with the breath to begin with. Inhale, lifts you up. Exhale, melts your heart down. Last one, inhale, lift. And exhale, melting back down. Good. If you like, you can keep it dynamic. Or stay in a cobra for a moment. Again, your cobra might be much lower, might be smaller, softer, gentler. Or if you feel ready to open your heart a little bit more, join me here, moving back into child's pose to release through the back. Any child pose variation, I'm stacking my hands to release my forehead down. Maybe wiggling your hips a little bit to release through the lower back. Reconnecting to the breath, the back body. Just noticing the state you're in now as opposed to a few minutes ago. And I'm finishing here sitting on my heels, just to ground myself, just to sit upright, feel into the breath, feel into my state. Bring my hands together in prayer. Thank you for joining this practice.